So normally when you're taking measurements, after you've written down whatever values you're going to write, there tends to be some data manipulation that comes next. You've got to do some mathematical manipulations to really get at whatever answer you're looking for. And that means you're going to need to round off your numbers in order to express the correct number of significant figures. Now everybody rounds differently, and in our class, we're just going to have our own set of rules so that we all round the same. That way you guys get the same answers as me. So let's just take a look, and in this example, we're going to round everything, just so we can look at the rules, to 2 significant figures. So that's what we're going to do in our examples here. So our first number we'll look at is 4.63. So if we're rounding to 2 sig figs, we're going to be rounding here to the 10th place, and we're going to be using this digit to make our determination. So 4.63 rounded to 2 sig figs would be 4.6. Our next example, let's do 4.67. If we round that one to 2 sig figs, now we're at 4.7. So again, we're rounding to this position using 7 as our determiner. And then, of course, the piece de resistance is if you have 4.65 and you want to round that one to 2 sig figs. So now we've got this 5, which is right smack dab in the middle. So in our class, we're going to do 5 and up means you round up. So in this case, we're going to round up to 4.7. In some of your other classes, they might use an odd-even rule to determine whether or not you're going to round up or leave it alone when you have a 5 determining your rounding. But we're just going to do 5 and up, round up. I don't remember how many years ago it was, but someone actually did a statistical analysis to show that the odd-even rule wasn't necessary. So we're not going to worry about that. So let's look at a few more examples, though. So let's say you have 4.649999. And again, we're still rounding to 2 sig figs in these examples, so to the 10th place using this number. So this one still rounds to 4.6. I know it's really tempting that you're going to want to take these 9s and use them to round this 4 up, but you can't round twice. Okay, so you only round once. Let's look at another interesting example. What if we want to round the number 151 to 2 significant figures? So again, we're rounding to this position using this value. So if I do that, I write 150. I've still got 2 sig figs, and this 0 here, that's just a placeholder. Because if we didn't have that, we would have written 15. Okay, so we still only have 2 significant digits here. However, if instead I had 10.2, and I want to round to 2 sig figs, that's this position, using this value as our determinant, this would round to 10. And in this case, since I've got 2 sig figs, I need to put a decimal point right there, because that decimal makes this 0 significant. If I had just written 10, on the other hand, this number would have had only 1 significant figure, and the 0 would have been a placeholder. So if you really want to make sure you get the same answer as I do, then don't round off your numbers until you get the final math step. And regardless, just don't oversimplify your numbers and round off to like one number. And don't use every single digit that comes out of your calculator. Always use the rules of significant figures.
Yeah.
So saith my son.